Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Oh, just another fun-filled day. That's what it comes down to. We're going to have Mr. Powell speaking. We just had, I believe we had the ADP report come out a little while ago. And, we just have Mr. Powell speaking here in the United States at noon. Um, it's just classic. Fed. I don't know. Insider trading. I guess that's what it really comes down to. Fed insider trading. That's exactly what it is. It's nothing more, nothing less. The least Chicago on the exchange now is showing only a 56% chance. It's come down from 76%. 79%, I think, at one point, of a June cut. So it's lost a 33% amount. So we're moving into that. I guess you could say we're moving into that area where we. Let me just to make sure I can hear my sound here. We're moving into the area where. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm not there. I need to get. Okay, let's see. There it is. We got to start it there. Now we got. Okay, there we are. Yep. So, I mean, the Fed basically is become, ever since quantitative easing. I think that's the biggest thing of all. They are the ultimate insider trader. They are flooding the world with dollars. They know that none of the other countries can afford to really compete with that. We're seeing. You could see. I just saw a headline. Trump says Biden could start World War III. What else is new? So at this point, we have a Fed chair that is the ultimate in insider trading and doesn't seem to want to let go. And it's just it doesn't. It's been going on for, let's see, since 2000, late 2008, and we still have it going on. Quantitative easing, where the Fed. Let me digress even more. When I was young, back in the 70s, there was a fellow who used to have a TV commercial on on the television, of course, TV commercial. And what he did is he got in his Rolls Royce and he drove down this big long driveway to his estate. And then he used to advertise a newsletter that he put out. And I can't find his name and I can't remember it. And what he did is he followed the New York specialists on the New York Stock Exchange. And he would rag on them day in and day out, over and over and over again. And it was the constant, they manipulated the market. They controlled the market. Well, yes, of course they did. They were the specialists. And by law, they were allowed to do that. And that was probably, I think by 1975 or 76, the Congress actually tried to outlaw the New York Stock Exchange. This guy had gotten his point across pretty well. And so I guess it was the socialists and the Congress at that point, which, beat up Jimmy Carter pretty hard through his Carter years. It was the Democrats that beat up Jimmy Carter. And so anyway, it was very, very strange. But that's besides the point. They basically tried to pass laws to change the New York Stock Exchange. And they did as time went on. And now today, specialists are gone. And now we have, much more volatile markets, of course, from it, which is okay because with that became the options. They legalized the options in going into 76 in the late summer of 75. And so that opened the doorway for more volatility in the marketplace because now, you could insure your investments. Okay, before you couldn't insure them. Now you can insure your long-term investments. You could do collars. We call a collar like a collar on a shirt. You could, sell a call, buy a put with the premium. Back then they didn't have the puts yet, so they could sell the calls. And so as time went on, they legalized the puts after about a year and a half. And, there was great amount of concern that puts would destroy America and capitalism. It was just totally wild. But anyway, the real main theme here today about that is it reminds me of what we have now with the New York the U.S. Federal Reserve. The U.S. Federal Reserve now has taken the position of the specialists. So it used to be the Federal Reserve would pay attention to the markets, but they wouldn't be involved in them so openly, so aggressively, so I guess you could say deliberately, that type of thing. And so now, you fast forward to today, and all the central banks in the world are involved in the financial markets. Now, they have a hard time dealing with the bond market, but to a great extent, they can influence government bonds on much more easier levels, because there's government bonds are floated by the Federal Reserve. Treasury goes to them and says, hey, we need you to sell, X amount of bonds in U.S. Treasuries, and we need that cash. And they do, and they go and do that. So what it really comes down to is that now we have Powell speaking today. He's the head of the Federal Reserve, and we have other governors and presidents of the individual banks of the Federal Reserve speaking today. And they're always just talking their book. That's what we call it in the financial side. They're just talking their book, and there's no stopping them from doing it, because the politicians are basically in control of these organizations on some level. And so, they hire. In other words, you can't get hired on the board or a presidency without permission from the I think it's the Senate has to give approval. So, it's the Senate, not the House, but the Senate. So, they're hiring people that they think the same, they think alike, they have the same philosophy economically, and so that's where we are today. We're watching this insider trading thing go on, and we have no power of stopping it at the moment, and it just becomes irritating. And when I listen to money managers, this is the reason why I'm thinking of it. Yesterday I was listening, I listen to some trusted sources all the time, and watch some trusted sources, and I read trusted sources. And what makes them trusted sources is the fact that they're accurate. In other words, what they said 6 months ago came true, or was very close to coming true. And the ones that are what I call a spin or not trusted sources are ones that literally say something 6 months ago or a year ago, and it never happens. And so it's just like, it's just spin, because it's not a prediction of a possibility. It never happens to begin with. It has no reality to it. So in other words, if they say, well, buy the railroad stocks, if there's that many railroad stocks around anymore. But, buy the railroad stocks, and then the railroad stocks go down instead of up over the next 6 months to a year, to me is a source I don't trust. And vice versa. If a source tells you to, buy chip stocks and it goes up, I, basically pay attention to that more. Now, sometimes they embellish or they put a spin to things, but overall, they usually have a level of accuracy. Okay, so I'm watching CNBC. I have it on a couple hours a day, and just to see what they're thinking. And the money managers seem to be totally oblivious. In other words, they're trying to speculate why something will go up or down. They're trying to tell you what they think the reasoning is why, what the reasoning is. And what it really comes down to in the end result is that they never mention the real stuff. And they're usually wrong. Most of the money managers are underwater. They're not keeping up with the market, but then nobody is anymore except for a few of us who are smarter. And in the end result is that people love them at the same time. They think, in the financial industry, oh, this is great. They got a 6% return last year. Well, the S&P 500 is up 17%, and that means they're basically they've lost. They didn't gain. It's just like zero interest rates or minus interest rates, where people walked around for a decade putting up with it. And there was no way of getting the Federal Reserve to stop it, and that's why they even did the, what did you call it, the transitory. They started rambling that transitory stuff for a year and a half before they finally accepted the idea that there was inflation. And they're doing it again now too. Inflation is expanding, and that's why the bond market is doing what it's doing, going down. In other words, the price of the bond is going down. Interest rates are rising. Matter of fact, why don't we throw that up on the screen for a moment, and then we'll go to there's the dollar. No, what is it? There's the dollar index right there. Now the dollar index, you can see, has kind of, after that news spike, because they believe that interest rates are not coming down. It's been kind of quiet the last couple of days, and you can see there, but it's in a weekly buy and all. Now when we go over to the bonds, let's put the bonds in on. Where is it at? Let's put them in on the main platform right here. And you'll see what I'm talking about here. We talked about it yesterday. We built what looks like a WD Gann, and now it's sliding into the the RN Elliott triangle, and has moved from that to the WD Gann triangle, and now it's turned into a flat triangle. Let me just show you that right here. And this is the reason why interest rates and the bonds are moving in one direction. This is the 30-year, which is controlled by the Federal Reserve much more than the private corporate bonds, which are an enormous. The biggest market in the world are bonds. Interest rate products are the biggest market in the world. Second biggest market is currencies, and I think the bonds are like 3 times greater in volume than the currencies, which is an astonishing thing to begin with. So there's the 30-year bond. You can see it's trapping itself inside a triangle. It's down at the low end of the range. It's at the 6 now. Now we're looking at it in the form of a WD Gann triangle versus a RN Elliott triangle. And where the 4 was part of the RN Elliott triangle. And so we're sitting there, we're looking at this, and we're saying to ourselves, this is what's going on. This is the central bank doing their insider trading thing. Now today they're going to, I'm sure Mr. Powell will find a way to make everybody think, that things are not bad. Notice he probably won't. It's hard to believe after 2 weeks ago when he said to everybody, well, 3 more cuts this year. Is he really going to do that again today when everybody else is saying we'll be lucky if we get 1 cut this year? And that's why it's such an insider trading thing, because a money manager can't come out and do that stuff. They'd be, let's say they own something and they turn around and said, oh, we love this stock, and then don't tell anybody you own the stock. They're talking their book. That's what they call talking their book. So anyway, that is my rant for the day, because I'm tired of hearing the Fed, when in fact they are just doing a bunch of illegal things anymore. They're being insider traders, and they're spinning the markets, just spinning it, making it try to do something it doesn't have the capacity to do. All right, let's go back to the dollar index. Let's take a look at it there. And we'll go over to the currencies. Remember, traders, if you want to see anything through our math, just put it up on the chat line. We'll tune in and take a look at it, and we'll give you, the opinion of what the math is trying to tell us about it all. We'll read the tea leaves. There it is there. You can see barely moving. It's down a little bit today, playing with the same low as yesterday. Just hanging out around the 104.50 area. Yesterday it closed at 104.56, almost 57. Now it's trading at 104.48.5. Just kind of quiet. 10 ticks, 9 ticks. What was that? 8 ticks down from yesterday. We don't really think we're going to see. I think that, as we said, I think we labeled yesterday's webinar Something like the dollar is transitory. And we really don't believe it's going to do anything major until we finally see some evidence. Just as much as they took it down, thinking got it below 100, because they had this fantasy that there were going to be 7 cuts. Here we are going into, I guess it's 8 months now, and there is no 7 cuts. There's not even 1 cut yet. So, I mean, we do anticipate a cut coming somewhere over the next, say, 6 to 8 months. Maybe 1 cut. If they do anything more than that, it's political. Even the 1 cut feels like it's political. I don't think the markets need the cut. I mean, we're at all-time highs. Why would you cut interest rates at all-time highs? The Fed, before quantitative easing, never did that. Never. It has never done that. It's only since quantitative easing they pull this stuff. Alrighty. So from there, let's take a look at the euro. See what the euro is up to this morning. I saw it, I guess, sideways to down, maybe? Maybe just a little up at the moment as we speak. Let's take a look and see. There it is right there. Yeah, it's up just the way the dollar index is, just a little smidgen down. And we're looking at the 5th day in a sell. And you can see, a second week in a weekly sell. And so there's that 0 line. Let's just bring it right to there. There we are. So, again, we're trapped. And I heard somebody today that they actually made some sense. They said something like, what do they think the markets are going to do? And they said, just be sideways. I was like, yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. The markets are just waiting for this election to unfold. Here we are 8 months out, 7 months out. All of April, all of May, all of June, July, August, and September. That's 6 months. October is 7 months. So basically, we're 7 months away from this election. And it is so it's under a microscope, let's put it that way. Everybody's watching it. Everybody's trying to find it, figure out where they're going, what they're doing. There's 80 Republican, the chairman of the Republican Party has over 80 lawsuits going on in different voting districts because they're playing all kinds of games, trying to steal votes already. It's amazing, just amazing. All right, from there we go over to, let's take a look at it on an intraday basis. There it is right there. You see it's just backing off a little bit from its action. I guess these are the older numbers, these lines we've had in there for days now, I guess maybe a couple weeks. They're definitely support areas. It's interesting how they do that. They support them over and over again. They're just like highs and lows that everybody watches. That's all they are, those lines. And then from there we go over to the cable. There's the cable moving down obviously today. Just from, it's up for the day itself. At least I think it is. Let's go over and take a look at the daily and weekly chart. There it is right there. Yeah, so it's just off a tick or two. Nothing major. And you can see it's in a daily sell for a bunch of days. And weekly sell for 2, going on a second week. And the intraday right there, is just pressing down lightly. Not the wildest market, just slow and steady. I guess, because Mr. Powell will be speaking and everybody knows he's the insider trader. So they'll try to stand it aside for the next 5 hours, I guess it is. What time is it now? It's 8:50 in the United States. He's speaking at noon. So that's 3 hours and 10 minutes from now. So the markets will be, I'm sure people will buy what they have to buy, or they'll sell what they'll have to sell to be flat or be adjusted for their positions. And then after that, the markets will sit and wait. And then, at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Mr. Powell, well, first of all, he will release his, I guess you call it his speech. He releases that 15 minutes before before he does it, so they get a chance to read it, and that'll put a jolt into the market. And then from there, someone will ask a question like, are the 3 cuts still coming? Were you serious about it last time? And then that will ignite. That will be the spark to the flammable substance. All right. From there we go to the Swiss. There's the Swiss, and you can see it's still doing that inflation fighting thing, moving slow and steady up, but overall it's kind of locked in a range. Nothing. That was the ADP, I believe, right there. The ADP came out, and now it's going up, which kind of insinuates that interest rates are not going down here in the States. Let's see if we can get the ADP number, see what they were. In fact, where can we go? Why don't we do this? Why don't we put it up on here and see if we can. Let's see. Let's take a look at Dukascopy's calendar and see if they have it up on there. There it is right there. There it comes. Today. There it is. ISM. That's Monday. Here's Tuesday. Today's Wednesday, actually, now. So here it is. ADP. It was 184,000. They were expecting a forecast of 72,000. And previous was 140,000. So they were looking for 72,000. Let's see, we click on that and see what it says there. There it is. ADP National Employment Report published monthly. Let's see. Change is estimated. Change number employment. So let's go back again. So they were expecting. They were expecting 72,000, and it became 184,000. So that's pretty high. Yeah. So that makes it even. Wonder what they did with the bond. Let's see if we can get the bond on there. Because we see what the dollar is doing. Let's just go back to that dollar thing. Now there's the. That's when the news came out right there on the. Where's the mouse out there? There it is. This is where the news came out right there of the ADP, and we see the Swiss was at 90.77. Now it's trading in the 90.91 area. Not a monster move. Let's see the same thing over in the euro. Did the same thing. That's where it came out. Right in here somewhere. I guess that would be it. Yeah, right there. That long line. So we went from the 107.84 area, 83 area, down to the 107.73 area. Not an enormous move. Just shows you it's that sideways action. Do we have a bond yield going on? Let's see. Let me just go over to the bonds. There's the bond. And bonds are obviously, let's widen this out more and you'll probably see it. We are at the lows of the day of the bond. I don't think it's going to go much further than that right now. Unless Powell comes out with something wild and woolly. I can't wait to find out. Oh, there's Robin. ES 9 down 925. Yeah, let's go over to that. There it is right there. Oh, let's do the daily and the weekly. Let's start off with. There it is right there. And widen this out a little bit more. Yeah, it's been sideways to a great extent. Now it's finally doing the breakdown. It's been in the daily sell from around here the last 3 days. And then we go and look at, what are we looking for now? That's the daily. Let's go to the intraday itself. There's the intraday. Let's find the 8. Let's see, where's it at? So right now we're on Chicago time, so it'd be right here. 8:15 is this line right there. And so when the ADP came out, it fell back down to those lines we looked at yesterday, that we showed how we derived those lines yesterday, right down in here when we started to. Let's see if we should move this up. Let's do this. We go like that. There we are. And we looked at the 841 area. We found that to be where we figured it was going to be. We figured this would be the middle channel of it all. It broke it and played with it. We looked at it yesterday, defined it there, and then finally it broke down to the 841 area. I think it got to 39 and then bounced back up and played with the center line there. And we've done it again today. We climbed over it, played the opposite side of it. And that's how markets work. They start to play like the Fibonacci. I think I've mentioned this a few times before, and that is, ever since quantitative easing, technical analysis is so much more accurate, which is really odd. I think it's because someone handed them the John Murphy book at all the Federal Reserves and said, here, trade the markets like this with the technical analysis, but make sure it's bullish or bearish, with the way they want to do it. And so that's what it comes down to. And see, we're just kind of trapped in there, just hanging out. And they don't have much of a choice. In other words, if they pull them up into the 60s, and then he comes out and says we're lowering the rates, they'll jack the market up, and then they'll start thinking, wait a minute, is this real? What's he doing? Is he talking the book? In other words, he wants the stock market to be firm. He wants the stock market to be up, and that's why there's always that expression that there's a Fed put. Now that put can be him talking it up. It can be them in the open market, but lending money to funds, telling them that they can keep this money overnight for free. Go put a position on, and we'll let you know when we need it back, and we'll give you a day's warning, and you can liquidate. And that's pretty much the way it's working at this point. It's just insider trading, nothing more than that. All right, so that's the ADP and what it has done to the market. Now, let's slide over to, let's see, where are we at here? Oh, we were looking at the Swiss. So let's go back to the Swiss. Yes, let's look at the Swiss. And there is the Swiss. We saw that it's moving up on the daily, and it's been in that weekly buy, and they're doing their best to fight that inflation. We go over to the yen. The yen is getting a little freaky. I've heard some really strange stories coming out of Tokyo. They want to jump in there and hold their market up. They want to do something, but the problem is that they're not happy with the way their currency's gone from 70. It's doubled. Can you imagine? They're worried about that when you look at the Great Experiment, where it's gone from 1 to 36, and here it's at 1.15 from 0.78, something like that, 0.75. So the yen has doubled, and they see that as a calamity. And that's how tight they like to keep their markets, basically. That's what it comes down to. All right, now from there, we'll go over to the Great Experiment itself. You see, the last couple of days, it's been it's been trying to curve down, and you can see even our weekly now is the white histogram is below the manifold. Now, if that green line starts to join and this the fast algorithm breaks the zero line, who knows? Maybe they've come up with a new idea. You just don't know. When you have a currency that's gone from 1.0 to 36.0, it's a whole different game. Just like let's see. So that's really what it comes down to, is that what do you say there? The euro, Turkish lira pairs trade. Maybe they'll come up with a whole new idea. They've come up with some interesting ideas over the years. They just haven't been able to hold them there. Missed the start. I want to look at SPY, AMD, NVO, and ARM. All right. Good morning, Janos. Let's see what we got here. Let's take a look at SPY. There's SPY. You can see the weekly is trying to dip down. It's been in a sell for, I don't know, 7 days. It's kind of such a tight market. They act like as if the world's coming to an end when in fact, the stock market is way up here at all-time highs. They're screaming for an interest rate cut so that we can go to more all-time highs. Talk about insider trading. And then from there, what do we got here? We got what was the next one you were looking for? AMD. Let's see. You know what we can do? Let's give you NVO because I know NVO is on this particular page. There it is right there, NVO. And NVO has been in a daily sell now since right there. So it went into a buy one day and fell right back into a sell again. So pretty much since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Out of the last 15 days, it's been in a daily sell for 14 of them. So it went into the sell up in here. Now we're flirting with a weekly sell. We've been in a weekly buy since weekly buy. Went into the weekly buy since the almost the 102 area here, and the stock went from 102 to what's that? 102 all the way up to 138. So basically a 36-point move on the upside over that. Let me see how many weeks that was too. That's always fun to look at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 weeks in a buy. We've been more in a sell, and especially when it went into the sell here in the low 30s. It now has yesterday it made it down to the 124 area. And we're playing with the sell, the weekly sell, and been in that. The daily sell's kept you safe, that's for sure. Now let's go over to, let's go tune that in and open up the, right there, Robin stock. There we are. And we'll take a look at AMD. I'd imagine, with that earthquake in Taiwan, you would think there'll be some pressure on things. Let's see. So there's ARM. There's AMD. Let's take a look at AMD. AMD's in a buy for 2 days. Still in one there. No, wait a minute. It's been in a buy since right here. Let's put the line in there. Went into the buy there. And so it went into the buy after being in a sell from here. And now we're starting to flirt with the sell with no problem, the weekly sell. Interesting. And that's another one. It was in a weekly buy since October. It went into the weekly buy in the $98, $97 area. And rode that all the way up to that spike right there. I think that's Mr. Powell telling us that we're going to have 6 cuts. See, that's like I'm saying. It's like insider trading what he does all the time. It went up to 207 from where? From 98? 207? That thing went up over $100. It went up 100%. How about that? So no use in holding NVO. Well, sell calls against it and buy some puts and sit there. Don't take the capital gains. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to NVO. Where is NVO? Okay, it's right here. NVO, I'd sell the call, buy the put. Do it for free and don't take the capital gains, because if you have a capital gains in that product, activate. There it is. Yeah, why pay the government money, Yeah, this pressure's been on it for a while, since up in here. And now the weekly's starting to join in. I don't really believe, I don't know, I hear different things, but I really don't think we can get more than 6 or 7 or 8% down. I'd be surprised if, we got much lower than that. So what is that to an all-time high market? It's not like we're, say, cruising along at the middle of the range of, the market for the last 20 years, and, a 10% move would mean more. But when you're coming from the all-time high, it's not that bad. We'll be lucky if we get through the 48 area when it comes to the SPY. The 548 area. Is that right? Let me just double check. If I'm spilling, the S&Ps would be 4,800 in the S&Ps. That's what I'm thinking. And so let's just go back over to SPY for a second and see where it's at physically. Robin trades the SPY. I'm more of the S&Ps. Let's see. Yeah, so I could see it possibly going challenging this area in here somewhere. In the end, somewhere's around in here for 480s, 480, up to maybe 490, something like that. I could see us challenging that, but it's not going to be that much of a move. You're talking about what is that? 480 from $480 to from $518. It's not the worst of moves. It's very small percentage wise. Now let's go. Let's see. What did we do last? Let's go back over to here, and the last one was AMD. So the last is ARM. Let's see how ARM is. And there is ARM. Wow. Talk about flat lines. So it goes into the sell off of that one. Let's put the line in there. So it goes into the sell there, and it's still in the sell. It went into the weekly sell last week in here. So we're a second week in a sell there, but it hasn't really gone anywhere. Like I said, I think it's transitory. The weakness in the stock market. If we get down into the 4,800 area or 900 area on the S&P futures, or the SPY 480 something, 485 something like that. That's about as far south as I expect. I don't expect unless there's pole shift on Mr. Trump, which I don't see happening. Then at this point. I was just laughing. He had two campaign events last night. Oh, excuse me. One was in Wisconsin, one was in Michigan, and he really rocked the boat. I mean, he just rocked the crowd. They were just roaring. He brings in 25, 35, 40,000 people. Mr. Biden brings in 300 people, 400 people. No one will go to Biden. How he's that high up in the polls, I have no idea. I don't even believe it. All right, so yep, there's your ARM, and it's already in the weekly sell from last week, and it's just a mild slide down at this point. And how did that thing do? Ever since the weekly buy in the 75 area, it ran to 100. It doubled in that weekly buy, and there was your daily buy. Woo, doggy, that was a winner chicken dinner. All right, so there you go, Janos. Trying to think what else we got going on there. I guess that's about it, really. And that is interesting. That is interesting. That's definite. That is interesting. Let's see. I won't worry about that there today. Go like that. There we are. Yep. So at this point, all I would do is sell calls and buy puts and just be prepared. This way, at least you don't have to pay the taxes on your situation there. All right, now, and the options can leak away. Do it for a little bit premium, and next thing you know is you're still making a few dollars. All right, from there we go over to, let's see, where were we in the currencies? I think we were looking at the South African rand. No, have we gotten to the rand yet? I think we were looking at the Turkish lira still. Wondering what they're up to. They're doing something. That big move there says something's going on. Now we're in weekly buys and daily sells, so it's kind of pushing it into that neutral stance at the moment. From there, we'll go to the South African rand. There it is right there. It's been trying to move down for days, and we've been seeing, you can see it here in the algorithm. It went into the sell. Let's get the sell in there. I'm not sure why we don't have any sells. Where's it at? So I guess there's a sell right there. And then where was the last buy? Buy was right there. And then where's the last buy there? It was right there. And the sells have been really sloppy. No doubt about that. And then from here, there's your buy right there for that move. And then let's put the sell in there. So that's pretty much the action we're seeing there now with the South African Rand. It's been going down against it's been gaining against the dollar. That's what that really means when it's going down with this big slope like that. And then it pops up and there's pressure on gold. And so let's see now. From there, let's go take a look at gold. Oh, Yana says, most governments don't do it the way the U.S. does. One pays quarterly or monthly or total profits, not a position. Oh, really? Bummer. Well, if nothing else, you're protecting your assets. That's always a good thing. Sell, call, buy, put. Protect the stock. And then you can always just take the options off when we go back into a weekly buy type of thing, Let's see. One pay, reinvest and nothing is touched. Oh, well, that's good. Well, then you sell it out and go on to something else. Let's see. From there, let's take a look at the gold right there. But that makes sense. Now, with the South African Rand right there trying to work its way down. Now, this has been relatively firm, which is kind of confusing because, when we look at gold, you see how gold has been just climbing and climbing and climbing at all-time highs. And so, we've seen gold go up literally $100 in 4 days. Really surprised that the South African Rand is acting the way it does, but we know that they're trapped in some real political situations at this point down there. The government has been upside down for years, and it's in really bad shape now with the way the president has been taking in private cash to do whatever he does. The ANC is not exactly your straightforward type of they're communists, so they're dealing inside, like the United States, a capitalist system with communists trying to run the country, so they turn things upside down. All right, and then from the gold we go to the silver, and there's the silver right there. So there's silver, and you can see silver's doing the same thing. It's climbing up, and what we're not seeing that Eurozone inflation falls to 2.4 in March. Good for it. So I just saw that headline kick out on the Financial Times. Here in the States, let's see, Eurozone inflation takes 2.4 in March. Okay. Yeah, so here in the States, our inflation keeps on rising. That's what's confusing everybody. The Fed, since the Fed missed it last time, there's not a lot of faith in the Fed. That's why that day you've seen it on some of the charts there where they spiked it the day he said, "Oh, we're going to get 3 more cuts this year," and other Fed people came out and within hours and said, "Nah, don't take it too serious." Oh, is that from earlier this morning? That makes sense. Yeah, so at the way it's rolling at this point in time, I am still very leery of anything being cut. I really am. I mean, the only way they cut is because they're doing it for politics. They're not doing it for the market itself. And that's not a good thing, because, you can see we're enormous debt. We're paying over $1 trillion a year in interest. There's a lot of issues going on when it comes to the American economy. As strong as it is, It's more held up through games being played by the central bank more than anything else, and the politicians. They're the ones that are pushing it up, making it definitely much more. I want to call it sloppy trading. That's what it is. That's the way we always refer to it, as sloppy trading. So, yep, that's where it's at. All right. So from the silver, let's take a look at. Where's the mouse at? Let's look at copper. I saw someone talking about Freeport McMoran. I think that it's undervalued at the moment. Hard to believe, but that is what they're thinking. Freeport McMoran. Oh, cancel that. And we'll go to this. There we are. And as you can see there, copper lifting again, acting strong. Not walking away from its its situation. And that's the way it rolls there. So last but not least, we'll run over to there, the platinum. There's July platinum holding up. It's been in a weekly buy for the second week now, and a daily buy for 6-7 days. Doing the same thing as gold, but it can't even get to the 1,000 mark. That's the amazing part. How much it can't get to the 1,000 mark, which is hard to believe when people try to buy it physically and they can't. So now there is the four metals. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Let's see. Yana says that is from earlier morning. Could you send me your multi-charts for the mentioned instrument SPY AMD? Sure. And what title for today? Sure. We'll do that right now. I will do that right now. And you want to see 4 charts? I can do that. I'll send them over to you. All right. We will do that. Are you getting out of there soon too? I saw you talking about that yesterday. They're like working you hard or something like that, doing a couple double duties. So I think I'll put it. I'll send the. I think what I'll do is I'll send you the 4 pictures through your Facebook. That's what I'll do. I'll send them through that. I'll make them so close you can read them. 13-hour shift today. Wow, that'll keep you busy. And let's see. Title today. What should we use as a title today? Gold at all-time highs. How about that? That sounds like a goodie. I'm beating up the Fed every day, it seems like. So let's put that in. Okay. I'll just put it on the chat line too. This way you get that. And then I'll send you those through the messenger. The charts through the messenger. That'll make sense. Yep, that's it. Okay. All right. Let me see. Where do we go from here? We go over to the energy sector. That's what we do now. That's been kind of interesting. We're seeing some strength in the energy sector. Crude oil over the 85. And let's see. It's going like that. And you can see there, oil is, there's such a strong opinion that oil is going to keep on climbing because Mr. Biden is against oil, so he makes it very hard to basically get anything done in oil. That's the problem. That is the problem. Now let's go and take a look at Brent, and that's on the beta. So we'll switch over to there. There's the Brent going up to the $90 area now. It's some day. It's like 7 days in a buy. It's like, I don't know how many weeks in a buy. Over 10 weeks in a buy. So Brent is not backing off any at all. What else can we say about the with the way the Middle East is, and it's not that as much as it's the way the we were only producing 13 plus million barrels a day. We should be producing. We use 20 million barrels a day, so we should be in the United States here. So we should be seeing a lot more. Oh, let's take a look at CVX. We'll do that. And let's see, right? Let's find CVX. I think we've watched that a few times. I imagine the oil stocks are lifting again. Yeah. It's hard for them to. There's a real strong opinion on the oil sector that there's going to be a lot of pressure on it for a while. And so as long as there's pressure on it, it's not going to stop. Okay, here, take a look at this on your Facebook chat line too. I'm going to put the SPY in there. See how that looks. See if that satisfies you. Now let's go see CVX. Where is it at? We had it in here. I know we had it in here. There it is right there. ARM. Let's put this over here. CVX. There it is right there. There's CVX. Yeah, it's been in. Well, let's grab some of these lines and fix this up. Last time we looked at it, went into a sell. Somewhere around there. I think went over. Went into a sell there. And now it's climbed back into a buy right there. Looks like it went in and out a day and then came back into it again. So you went into the sell there. And then let's just give you a fresh new green line. And the weekly fell into a sell for 1 week. You can see that right there. And then went back into the weekly buy last week. There we are. So that is, let's see, save workspace. And tell me how this looks. Let's see, where's it at? There we go. Let's see, where is it at here? How did we do this last time? I know we did this last time. I wonder if I have to do it this way. We'll do it this way. Let's try this. Well, let's do this. Let's put this in there and see what, since we have it up on the screen, and then I'll give you those ones you're asking for. Let's see. Yeah, so I know what it is. I need to find how. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it. There we are. Take a look at that on your chat. And that gives you a really close-up look on the SPY. And I'll get you close-up looks on all the rest of them too. Let's see. So there's CVX. You recommended oil stock. Yeah. That's kind of like a no-brainer when you know that there's a good shot that the oil is going to go to close to a century mark. Make 100. And they've been in weekly buys for a long while now. They could go through it. The stocks have more fluctuations, but because they're used every day. So the daily buys have been pretty good. This was interesting right here. Where's that mouse at? This area right here. You can see it really didn't know what to do. It really turned into a battle right there. It was like it kept on trying to they're trying. Look, this is why I refer. So let's see what you say. You recommend so U.S. stocks are in weekly sell since 2503. 2503. And which product is that? That's 2503. CVX? No, CVX. What's product? And daily sales since Monday. Oh, what? You mean the SPY? This one right here? Yeah, it's been in a sell. It's pushing, doing all kinds of things. Yeah, SPY. Here we go. You can see it on the screen here too. There it is right there. Yeah, it's been, I keep on punching on the wrong thing sometimes on that spreadsheet. But yeah, it's been pressing in the sell for a while here now. It's over a week since last week. It hasn't gone anywhere. That's the problem. As much as the media wants to make a loud noise about this whole thing, it's really not going anywhere. They kind of, it's like sensationalism. It's spin. That's why I call it insider trading. I mean, they're making a lot of noise over nothing. Let me write these down. I'm going to give you those. I'm going to send those pictures over to you, and I got to find them again now on the chat line before I lose the chat line. Gold, say CVX. We recommend stocks. Where are those stocks that you were looking for? So you wanted, let's see, the daily sell Monday, U.S. stocks playing out, CVX, gold, got it. See, I am here 13 hours. There they are. Okay, so I'll send over AMD, and you can look at them a little bit closer. NVO and ARM. And you got the SPY already. Okay, there we are. Yeah, it's like insider trading. That's the problem. That's they talk the book. They make everybody feel. It's just it's becoming irritating because people are financial managers and analysts are not talking about it. I find it very irritating that I'm one of the only people talking about this stuff in real reality. Instead of the wishy-washy stuff. I mean, Janos, how many more people besides me talk about the market the way I do every day? I mean, I don't understand. It's freedom of speech here. I know that no one wants to hear me on the government side, but there are some. There's a few of us. But I mean, the Federal Reserve is truly doing an insider trading thing. Yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. That's exactly it. This is my way of being private by going through Ducoscopy. Exactly. All right, we're out of here, traders. We will catch you all tomorrow, same time, same channel. And it'll be Thursday already. Wow. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. If one digs deep, one finds them. Yep, in various anonymous accounts and groups. Yes, indeed. I hear you. And it's unfortunate, Yeah. I mean, it's just unfortunate. So, all right. I'll send those pictures over to you now, Giannis. I'll catch you. Bye-bye.